Hi everyone, welcome back to my cooking channel. My name is Kenya and today I'm going to be making cream puffs. So let's get to it. The first thing that I needed to do was preheat my oven to 400 degrees. So I've done that. And I'm going to be making chocolate cream puffs. So I've taken this instant chocolate pudding and I put it in there. And I'll be adding 2 cups of milk and whisking it with my whisk until it soft sets. So this is my 2-cup measuring cup, and I will just pour it in until it hits the 2-cup mark. And that's that. So now I'll pour it in the pudding really softly, and I'll take my whisk and start whisking it. You got to get all of the clumpy stuff out. And this whisk isn't very good for getting the sides, but I will take a spatula and get them after everything is done. Okay, and here we'll grab a spatula and we'll go back and I'll just grab those off of the side. Oops. All right, now I'll put it in the refrigerator. Here are the ingredients you need for a choux pastry. 1 cup of water, which I did use a measuring cup and put it in there. 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. 1 cup of AP flour, that's all-purpose flour. 4 eggs and 1/2 stick of chopped butter. And then I will put it in this pan and make the dough. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the butter and water and salt in here. I have the fire set on 5 and I've got the butter in there. I'm going to let it melt a little bit before I put the water and salt in. Okay, so the butter has melted enough to where I can add the water and the salt. So I'm going to stir it until it comes to a bubble. So while I'm waiting for my butter, water, and salt to bubble, I'm going to prep my pan. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on it. Then I'm going to put wax paper on it and then put a little bit of wax paper on this. So I have this prepped, and now my butter, water, and salt are prepping. So now I'm going to put flour in there and I'm going to really beat it. And after it gets looking like this, you can turn the stove off because you're going to have to put eggs in and you don't want the eggs to scramble. And I do recommend using a wood stir thing or whatever. So I have broken 2 eggs into each one. I suggest putting them in a different container and not breaking them into the pan. One time I was making a cake and I cracked the egg and put it in my batter and the egg was black, so I had to throw the entire thing away. Over here you have to take the pan off and let this sit for a couple of a minute so it cools down a little bit. And this has been sitting for a minute, so I'm going to start by just putting 1 egg in there. And I'm going to start mixing it. This is what it looks like after 1 egg, so I'll do the same thing with the next. Put that in there, and I'll start beating it. And it looks kind of gross at first, but then it'll come together. This is after the 2nd egg, and continue doing the other 2 eggs. And this is what it should look like when you're done with the 4 eggs. Now grab either a pastry bag or just a regular sandwich bag and put this in This amount will take up 2 sandwich bags. And there you go. 2 sandwich bags, and get the air out of them before you seal them. So now you're going to have to cut this part off with a pair of scissors, and then make your cream puffs. So that much should make 8, although that one is a little bit smaller. Now you just need to wet your finger and tap down anywhere where there's a tip. And if your finger gets dry, just re-wet it and tap down. Now it goes in the oven at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. And at 30 minutes, I will shut the oven off and crack the door just a little bit and let them cool until they are room temperature. So now we have our pudding that is soft set, and we've got our whipped cream. And you just want to take 2 or 3 spoonfuls of the whipped cream. Well, if I can get it out. It's still kind of frozen. We'll put 3 in there. And then start stirring this. Start folding it. And when the cream puffs are cooled, we'll cut them in half and stuff them with this. I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator. So they cooked for 30 minutes, and then I kept them in my oven with the door closed for another 10 minutes. Then cracked my door to my oven for 10 minutes. So it was a total of 50 minutes. They are nice and hard. So now I'm going to be cutting them open and stuffing them with the pudding. This is actually what it looks like on the inside. It is so nice and fluffy and everything. I filled it with the pudding and whipped cream mixture, and now I'll cap it and gently put it on the holiday plate. There you go. So there you go. 7 cream puffs for anyone to come and eat. 1 for my husband to try. If you guys try this, please comment in the comments how you liked it. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And if you like videos on dogs, please subscribe to Buck and Brooklyn's Adventures. They would love it. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.